Imagine for a moment that you're standing at the edge of a vast, beautiful meadow. The sun is rising, painting the sky in hues of gold and pink. A gentle breeze caresses your face, carrying with it the promise of a new day. This moment right here and now is all that truly exists. The future, it's nothing more than a concept, a figment of our imagination. Yet how many of us spend our precious present moments consumed by worry about what's to come? My friends, I'm here today to share with you a profound truth. The key to a fulfilling life lies not in fretting about tomorrow, but in fully embracing the gift of now. The future is not something to fear or obsess over. It's a canvas waiting for the strokes of your present actions and choices. So let's embark on a journey together, a journey to free ourselves from the shackles of future-oriented anxiety and learn to live in the power of the present moment. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but Wayne, how can I not worry about the future? There's so much uncertainty, so many things that could go wrong. And to that I say, exactly. The future is uncertain, and that's precisely why worrying about it is futile. Worry is nothing but a misuse of your imagination. It's using the incredible power of your mind to create scenarios that don't exist and may never come to pass. Think about it. How many times have you worried about something only to find that when the moment finally arrived, it wasn't nearly as bad as you had imagined, or perhaps it didn't happen at all? You see, worry is a form of negative goal setting. It's programming your subconscious mind for failure instead of success. Every time you worry, you're essentially telling the universe, this is what I expect to happen. And as we know, what we expect tends to manifest in our reality. The beautiful truth is you have the power to change this pattern. You have the ability to redirect your thoughts from worry to wonder, from anxiety to anticipation. The first step is awareness. Become conscious of your thought patterns. When you catch yourself worrying about the future, gently bring your attention back to the present moment. Feel your breath. Notice your surroundings. Engage with the now. This simple act of mindfulness can be transformative. Remember, my friends, that life unfolds in the present. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow is yet to come, but today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. When you're fully engaged in the now, worry about the future naturally dissipates. It's like trying to hold on to water. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you open your hands and allow the water to flow freely, you experience its true nature. Now, I'm not suggesting that we shouldn't plan for the future or set goals. Of course not. Planning and goal setting are important aspects of personal growth and achievement. But there's a world of difference between mindful planning and worry. Planning comes from a place of empowerment. It's about taking inspired action in the present to create the future you desire. Worry, on the other hand, comes from a place of fear and powerlessness. It's about imagining worst-case scenarios and feeling helpless to prevent them. So how do we make this shift? How do we stop the incessant chatter of our minds about what might go wrong in the future? The answer lies in cultivating a new relationship with our thoughts. You see, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. This distinction is crucial. When you can step back and observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them, you reclaim your power. Imagine your mind as a vast, clear sky. Thoughts are like clouds passing through the sky. Some are light and fluffy, others are dark and stormy. But regardless of their nature, they all pass. The sky remains unchanged, vast and boundless. You are that sky. Worries about the future are just clouds passing through. They don't define you, and they certainly don't control you unless you let them. One powerful technique to help you stop worrying about the future is to practice gratitude for the present. Each day, take a few moments to appreciate what you have right now. It could be something as simple as the warmth of the sun on your face, the taste of your morning coffee, or the sound of a loved one's laughter. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you automatically shift your attention from what you fear might happen to what you appreciate is happening. Another effective strategy is to replace worry with curiosity. Instead of asking, what if something goes wrong? Ask, what if something goes right? This simple reframe can completely change your emotional state and your perspective on the future. It opens you up to possibilities rather than closing you down with fear. Remember, my friends, that worry is often a misplaced desire for control. We worry because we want to control outcomes, to ensure that everything goes according to our plan. But here's a liberating truth. The only thing you can truly control is your response to life. You can't control external events, but you can always choose how you react to them. When you embrace this truth, you free yourself from the burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. Now let's talk about the concept of trust. Trust in the unfolding of life. Trust that you have within you everything you need to handle whatever comes your way. This doesn't mean that challenges won't arise. They will. But when you trust in your ability to cope, to learn, to grow, those challenges become opportunities rather than threats. Think back to a time in your life when you faced a difficult situation. Perhaps it was a job loss, a health scare, or a relationship breakdown. At the time, it might have seemed overwhelming. You might have worried endlessly about how you would get through it. But here you are on the other side of that experience. You survived, you learned, you grew. This is evidence of your resilience, your ability to navigate life's ups and downs. When we worry about the future, we often catastrophize. We imagine the worst possible scenarios and convince ourselves that we won't be able to handle them. But history has shown us time and time again that human beings are incredibly adaptable. We have an innate ability to rise to challenges, to find solutions, to persevere in the face of adversity. Trust in this ability. Trust in your ability. Now, I want to address something that often fuels our worry about the future. The desire for certainty. We humans love certainty. We crave it. We want to know exactly how things will turn out, but life, my friends, is inherently uncertain. And that's not a bad thing. Uncertainty is where possibility lives. It's the space where miracles happen, where unexpected joys arise, where growth occurs. Instead of resisting uncertainty, learn to embrace it. See it as an adventure, an opportunity for discovery. When you approach life with this mindset, worry naturally subsides. You're no longer trying to control or predict the future. You're open to experiencing it as it unfolds. Another powerful antidote to worry is action. Often, we worry because we feel stuck or powerless. But remember, you always have the power to take action no matter how small. If you're worried about your health, take action by eating a nutritious meal or going for a walk. If you're worried about your career, take action by learning a new skill or reaching out to a mentor. Action breeds confidence, and confidence erodes worry. Now let's talk about the power of your words. The language you use shapes your reality. When you constantly talk about your worries, you're reinforcing them, giving them more power. Instead, practice speaking words of hope, of possibility, of trust. Instead of saying, I'm worried about the future, try saying, I'm excited to see what opportunities the future holds. This isn't about denying your feelings, but about consciously choosing to focus on the positive possibilities rather than the negative what-ifs. Remember, my friends, that every moment is a new beginning. No matter how much you've worried in the past, you can choose in this very moment to stop. You can decide right now to redirect your energy from worry to wonder, from fear to faith. It's a choice you can make again and again, moment by moment. One of the most effective ways to stop worrying about the future is to fully engage with the present. When you're fully present, there's no room for worry. So how do we cultivate presence? One powerful technique is mindfulness meditation. This doesn't have to be complicated. Simply take a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. When thoughts about the future arise, and they will gently bring your attention back to your breath. This simple practice can dramatically reduce worry and increase your ability to stay present. Another way to cultivate presence is through fully engaging in activities you enjoy. When you're doing something you love, whether it's gardening, painting, playing music, or any other hobby, you naturally become absorbed in the present moment. The future fades away and all that exists is the now. Make time for these activities in your life. They're not just enjoyable. They're powerful tools for reducing worry and increasing joy. Now let's address a common misconception. That worrying somehow prepares us for future challenges. Many people believe that if they worry enough about something, they'll be better equipped to handle it if it occurs. But this simply isn't true. Worry doesn't prepare us. It depletes us. It robs us of the energy and clarity we need to effectively handle life's challenges. Instead of worrying, prepare. There's a big difference. Preparation is proactive and empowering. It involves taking concrete steps in the present to create the future you desire. Worry, on the other hand, is reactive and disempowering. It involves ruminating on potential negative outcomes without taking any constructive action. For example, if you're concerned about your financial future, worrying about it won't help. But preparing by creating a budget, saving regularly, investing wisely, well, if you're concerned about your health, worrying won't improve it. But preparing by eating nutritious foods, exercising regularly, getting enough sleep, you will see the difference. Shift your energy from worry to preparation and watch how your relationship with the future changes. Another powerful way to stop worrying about the future is to focus on serving others. When we're caught up in worry, we're typically very self-focused. We're preoccupied with our own fears and concerns. But when we shift our focus to helping others, something magical happens. Our own worries diminish. We gain perspective. We remember that we're part of something larger than ourselves. This doesn't mean you have to neglect your own needs or concerns. It's about finding a balance. When you catch yourself worrying, ask, how can I be of service today? How can I add value to someone else's life? This shift in focus can be incredibly liberating. It reminds us that we have the power to make a positive difference in the world, regardless of what the future may hold. Now, I want to talk about the importance of self-talk. The way you speak to yourself has a profound impact on your emotional state and your perspective on the future. Many of us have an inner critic that constantly points out potential problems and pitfalls. This inner critic fuels worry and anxiety about the future. But here's the good news. You have the power to change this inner dialogue. Start by becoming aware of your self-talk. When you catch yourself engaging in negative self-talk or worry about the future, pause, take a deep breath. Then consciously choose to speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement. Instead of saying, what if everything goes wrong? Say, I have the strength and wisdom to handle whatever comes my way. Instead of saying, I'm not ready for the future, say, I'm growing and learning every day, preparing myself for whatever life brings. This positive self-talk isn't about denying reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about approaching life from a place of empowerment rather than fear. It's about reminding yourself of your inherent worth and capability regardless of what the future may hold. That other powerful tool for stopping worry about the future is visualization. Your mind doesn't distinguish between what's vividly imagined and what's real. So why not use this to your advantage? Instead of visualizing worst-case scenarios, spend time each day visualizing positive outcomes. See yourself handling challenges with grace and confidence. Imagine yourself achieving your goals, living your... This isn't about magical thinking or denying potential difficulties. It's about training your mind to focus on possibilities rather than problems. When you consistently visualize positive outcomes, you're more likely to take the actions necessary to create those outcomes in reality. Now let's talk about the power of acceptance. Often, our worry about the future stems from a resistance to change or a fear of the unknown. But change is an inevitable part of life. The future will always bring changes, some welcome, some... The key is to cultivate an attitude of acceptance. This doesn't mean passive resignation. It means acknowledging reality as it is without resistance. When you accept that change is a natural part of life, that the future is inherently uncertain, you free yourself from the need to control or predict it. You open yourself up to the flow of life. Practicing acceptance doesn't mean you stop setting goals or working towards a better future. It means you do so from a place of peace rather than anxiety. You work towards your goals while remaining open to the possibility that life might have something even better in store for you than what you've imagined. Another important aspect of stopping worry about the future is learning to live in alignment with your values. When you're clear about what truly matters to you, your core values, and you're living in accordance with those values, worry naturally diminishes. Why? Because you know that regardless of what the future brings, you're being true to yourself. Take some time to reflect on your values. What's truly important to you? Is it integrity, compassion, growth, adventure? Once you're clear on your values, make choices that align with them. When you do this, you'll find that worry about the future loses its... You'll feel a sense of purpose and direction that transcends your concerns about what might or might not happen. Now, I want to address something that often fuels worry about the future: comparison. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing our lives, our achievements, our possessions to those of others. We worry that we're falling behind, that we're not measuring up to some external standard of success. But there's no one-size-fits-all definition of success. Your path is unique. Your journey is your own. When you stop comparing yourself to others and instead focus on your own growth and progress, worry about the future naturally subsides. You're no longer trying to live up to someone else's expectations or timeline. You're free to create a future that's authentically yours. Another powerful way to stop worrying about the future is to cultivate a sense of wonder and awe. Take time each day to marvel at the beauty and mystery of life. Look at a flower and really see it. Gaze at the stars and contemplate the vastness of the universe. When you connect with the wonder of existence, your worries about the future often fade into perspective. This sense of wonder reminds us that we're part of something much larger than ourselves. It helps us trust in the unfolding of life. It opens us up to the magic and possibility that exist in every moment. Now let's talk about the importance of self-care in reducing worry about the future. Often, when we're caught up in worry, we neglect our own well-being. We might skip meals, lose sleep, or forgo exercise, but this only fuels more anxiety and reduces our ability to cope with life's challenges. Make self-care a priority. Eat nourishing foods. Get enough sleep. Move your body regularly. Engage in activities that recharge you. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle whatever the future brings. You're coming from a place of strength rather than depletion. Remember, my friends, that worry is often a habit. And like any habit, it can be changed. It takes time and practice. But with consistent effort, you can rewire your brain to focus on the present rather than fretting about the future. One effective technique for breaking the worry habit is to schedule worry time. This might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. Set aside a specific time each day. Say 15 minutes for worrying. When worries arise outside of this time, simply note them down and tell yourself you'll address them during your designated worry time. This helps you contain your worries rather than letting them dominate your entire day. During your scheduled worry time, sit down and go through your list of worries. For each one, ask yourself, is there anything I could do about this right now? If yes, take action or make a plan to do so. If no, practice letting it go. Remind yourself that worrying about things you can't control doesn't help. It only robs you of your peace in the present moment. Another powerful way to stop worrying about the future is to cultivate an attitude of trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Think back on your life. You've faced challenges before and you've overcome them. You've grown, you've learned, you've become stronger. Trust in this process. Trust in your resilience. This doesn't mean you won't face difficulties in the future. You will. We all will. But when you trust in your ability to cope, those potential difficulties lose their power to generate worry. Instead of thinking, what if I can't handle it? You'll think, I've handled challenges before and I can do it again. Now, my friends, let's talk about the power of your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your reality. If you believe the future is something to be feared, you'll experience fear. If you believe the future is filled with possibilities, you'll experience excitement and anticipation. The choice is yours. Take a moment to examine your beliefs about the future. Are they serving you? Are they empowering you? If not, you have the power to change them. Remember, a belief is just a thought you've thought over and over again until it feels true. You can choose new thoughts, more empowering thoughts, and with repetition, these can become your new beliefs. For example, instead of believing the future is uncertain and scary, you could choose to believe the future is full of exciting possibilities. Instead of, I'm not ready for what's coming, try I'm growing and evolving every day, preparing myself for whatever life brings. These new beliefs don't deny the reality of life's challenges, but they approach them from a place of empowerment rather than fear. Another powerful tool for stopping worry about the future is to practice forgiveness. Now, you might be wondering, Wayne, what does forgiveness have to do with worrying about the future? Well, my friends, more than you might think, you see, often our worries about the future are rooted in past experiences. We've been hurt, disappointed, or let down, and we carry these wounds with us, projecting them onto our vision of the future. We worry that history will repeat itself, that we'll experience the same pain again. Forgiveness liberates us from this cycle. When we forgive ourselves and others, we release the grip of the past, we free ourselves to approach the future with fresh eyes, unburdened by old hurts and resentments. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions or staying in toxic situations. It means releasing the emotional charge of past events so they no longer color our perception of the future. Now let's talk about the importance of flexibility in reducing worry about the future. Often, our worries stem from rigid expectations about how things should be. We have a fixed idea of how our lives should unfold, and we worry when reality doesn't match this mental picture. But life, my friends, is fluid. It's constantly changing and evolving. When we cultivate flexibility in our thinking, our expectations, our plans, we're better able to flow with life rather than resist it. This doesn't mean abandoning our goals or values. It means holding them lightly, being open to new possibilities, new paths to achieving what we desire. Flexibility allows us to see opportunities where we once saw obstacles. It helps us adapt to changing circumstances with grace and creativity. When we're flexible, we worry less about the future because we trust in our ability to adjust and thrive no matter what comes our way. Another powerful antidote to worry about the future is cultivating a sense of purpose. When we have a clear sense of why we're here, what we want to contribute to the world, worry about the future often fades into the background. Our focus shifts from our own fears and concerns to the impact we want to make, the legacy we want to leave. Take some time to reflect on your purpose. What lights you up? What do you feel called to do or be? What unique gifts do you have to offer the world? When you connect with your sense of purpose, you'll find that it acts as a compass, guiding you forward regardless of what the future may hold. Now, I want to address something that often fuels worry about the future: the myth of perfection. Many of us worry because we're striving for a perfect future, perfect health, perfect relationships, perfect career success. But perfection, my friends, is an illusion. It's a moving target that we can never quite reach. Instead of striving for perfection, aim for growth and progress. Celebrate your efforts, your learning, your small victories along the way. When you release the need for everything to be perfect, you free yourself from a major source of worry and stress about. Remember, life is not about reaching some imagined perfect state. It's about the journey, the process of becoming. When you embrace this truth, you'll find that worry about the future naturally diminishes. You'll be more focused on making the most of each moment, on growing and evolving, rather than anxiously awaiting some perfect future that may never arrive. Another powerful way to stop worrying about the future is to cultivate an attitude of abundance. Often, our worries stem from a scarcity mindset, a belief that there's not enough to go around, that we need to compete and struggle for limited resources. But the truth is, we live in an abundant universe. There's enough for everyone. When you shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, you'll find that many of your worries about the future naturally dissolve. You'll approach life from a place of trust rather than fear, openness rather than defensiveness. This doesn't mean ignoring practical realities or being irresponsible with resources. It means trusting that there are always opportunities, always possibilities, always new paths opening up. It means focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, on what's possible rather than what's. Now let's talk about the power of community in reducing worry about the future. We humans are social creatures. We're not meant to face life's challenges alone. When we isolate ourselves, our worries often grow out of proportion. But when we connect with others, share our concerns, offer and receive support, our worries often shrink. Make an effort to build and nurture supportive relationships in your life. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who encourage your growth, who remind you of your strengths when you forget them. These connections provide a safety net, reminding us that whatever the future brings, we don't have to face it alone. Another powerful tool for stopping worry about the future is to practice mindful awareness of your thoughts. Many of us go through life on autopilot, barely aware of the constant stream of thoughts running through our minds. But when we bring awareness to our thought patterns, we gain the power to change them. By paying attention to your thoughts about the future, when you notice yourself worrying, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it based on fact or imagination? Is there another way I could look at this situation? This simple practice of questioning your thoughts can be transformative. It helps you distinguish between productive planning and unproductive worrying. Now, I want to address something that often fuels worry about the future. The pace of change in our world. We're living in a time of rapid technological and social change, and this can feel overwhelming. We worry about keeping up, about becoming obsolete, about what all this change means for our future. But remember, my friends, change has always been a part of life. Our ancestors faced changes just as dramatic in their time. The key is not to resist change, but to embrace it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Instead of worrying about keeping up, focus on staying curious, on being open to new. Moreover, remember that amidst all this change, the most important things remain constant. The value of kindness, the power of love, the importance of integrity, these are timeless. When you stay connected to these eternal values, you'll find that worry about the future loses its grip. You'll have a solid foundation from which to navigate whatever changes come your way. Another powerful way to stop worrying about the future is to cultivate gratitude for the present. Worry often stems from a focus on what we lack or what could go wrong. Gratitude shifts our focus to what we have, what's going right in our lives right now. Make it a daily practice to acknowledge the good in your life. It could be something as simple as a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. When you regularly acknowledge and appreciate the good in your life, you're less likely to get caught up in worry about what might or might not happen in the future. Now let's talk about the importance of taking care of your physical health in reducing worry about the future. Our minds and bodies are intimately connected. When we neglect our physical health, it often leads to increased anxiety and worry. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating nutritious foods, and engaging in regular physical activity. These basic self-care practices provide a strong foundation for mental and emotional well-being. When you feel good physically, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges and less prone to worry about the future. Remember, my friends, that worry is often a misuse of your imagination. Your imagination is a powerful tool. It can be used to create vivid scenarios of disaster and failure, or it can be used to envision positive possibilities and solutions. The choice is yours. When you catch yourself using your imagination to conjure up worst-case scenarios about the future, pause, take a deep breath. Then consciously choose to redirect your imagination towards positive outcomes. Visualize yourself handling challenges with grace and confidence. Imagine the future you want to create. This isn't about denying potential difficulties. It's about training your mind to focus on possibilities rather than. Another powerful antidote to worry about the future is to focus on what you can control. Often, we worry about things that are completely outside our sphere of influence. This type of worry is not only unproductive, it's exhausting and disempowering. Instead, focus your energy on what you can control. Your actions, your responses, your attitude. You can't control what will happen in the future, but you can control how you prepare for it. You can't control the actions of others, but you can control how you respond to them. When you focus on what's within your control, you'll feel more empowered, and less anxious about the future. Now, I want to address something that often fuels worry about the future, the fear of failure. Many of us worry about failing, about not measuring up to our own or others' expectations. But here's a liberating truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every successful person has experienced failure. It's how we learn, grow, and ultimately achieve our goals. When you reframe failure as a learning opportunity rather than a catastrophe, worry about the future naturally diminishes. You'll be more willing to take risks, to try new things, knowing that even if things don't work out as planned, you'll gain valuable experience and knowledge. Another powerful way to stop worrying about the future is to live in alignment with your values. When you're clear about what truly matters to you and you're making choices that reflect those values, you'll feel a sense of integrity and purpose that transcends worry about the future. Take some time to reflect on your core values. What's truly important to you? Is it honesty, creativity, compassion, adventure? Once you're clear on your values, make choices that align with them. When you do this, you'll find that worry about the future loses its grip. You'll feel a sense of authenticity and direction that's independent of external circumstances. Remember, my friends, that life is meant to be lived, not merely survived. Worry robs us of the joy of living. It keeps us stuck in a state of anxious anticipation, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. But life is happening right now, in this very moment. Don't miss it, because you're too busy worrying about what might happen tomorrow. Practice being fully present each moment. Engage fully in your experiences, your relationships, your work. When you're fully present, worry about the future naturally fades away. There's no room for it in a mind that's fully engaged with the now. Now, let's talk about the power of faith in reducing worry about the future. I'm not necessarily talking about religious faith, although that can certainly be a source of comfort and strength for many. I'm talking about faith in a broader sense. Faith in the fundamental goodness of life. Faith in your own resilience and capacity to grow. Faith in the unfolding of your unique journey. When you cultivate this kind of faith, you develop a deep trust in life. You understand that even when things don't go as planned, there's always a lesson, always an opportunity for growth. This faith doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or difficulties, but it does mean you'll approach those challenges from a place of trust rather than fear. Another powerful tool for stopping worry about the future is to practice radical acceptance. This means accepting reality as it is, without resistance. It doesn't mean you approve of everything that happens or that you don't work to change things for the better. It means you stop fighting against what is, stop wishing things were different, and instead deal with life on life's terms. When you practice radical acceptance, you free up enormous amounts of energy that was previously spent resisting reality, wishing things were different. This energy can then be channeled into constructive action, into creating the future you desire. Remember, my friends, that worry is a habit. And like any habit, it can be changed. It takes time, it takes practice, but with consistent effort, you can rewire your brain to focus on the present rather than fretting about the future. Start small. Each time you catch yourself worrying about the future, gently bring your attention back to the present moment. Focus on your breath, on the sensations in your body, on the sights and sounds around you. With practice, this will become easier and more natural. Now, I want to address something that often fuels worry about the future. The belief that we need to have everything figured out. Many of us worry because we think we should have all the answers, that we should know exactly where we're going and how we're going to get there. But life, my friends, is a journey of discovery. It's okay not to have all the answers. It's okay to be uncertain. In fact, uncertainty is where possibility lives. When you embrace uncertainty, you open yourself up to new opportunities, new paths that you might never have considered if you were rigidly sticking to a predetermined plan. Another powerful way to stop worrying about the future is to cultivate a sense of humor. Laughter is a potent antidote to worry and anxiety. It helps us maintain perspective, to not take ourselves or our concerns too seriously. Learn to laugh at yourself at life's absurdities. Find the humor in challenging situations. This doesn't mean denying or dismissing real concerns, but it does mean not letting those concerns overwhelm you. A good laugh can often dispel worry more effectively than hours of anxious rumination. Remember, my friends, that every moment is a new beginning. No matter how much you've worried in the past, you can choose in this very moment to stop. You can decide right now to redirect your energy from worry to wonder, from fear to faith. It's a choice you can make again and again, moment by moment. In conclusion, worry about the future is a habit that robs us of our joy, our peace, and our power in the present moment. But it's a habit that can be broken by cultivating mindfulness, practicing gratitude, focusing on what we can control, nurturing supportive relationships, and maintaining a sense of purpose and faith. We can free ourselves from the grip of worry. Remember, the future is not something to fear, it's something to create. Every choice you make, every action you take in the present moment is shaping your future. So instead of worrying about what might happen, focus on what you can do right now to create the future. My friends, you have within you everything you need to handle whatever life brings your way. You are stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you know. Trust in this truth. Have faith in your journey. And most importantly, embrace the precious gift of the present moment. For it is in this moment, right here, right now, that life is truly lived. The power to stop worrying about the future and start living fully in the present is always within you. Choose wisely, choose consciously, and watch as your life transforms. Thank you, and God bless.